This is a story that the old ones have been telling children for hundreds of years. It is a sad tale, but it lives strong in the memories of the people, and there are many who swear that it is true. Long years ago, in a humble little village, there lived a fine-looking girl named Maria. Some say she was the most beautiful girl in the world. Because she was so beautiful, Maria thought that she was better than everyone else. As Maria grew older, her beauty increased, and her pride and her beauty grew too. When she was a young woman, she would not even look at the young men from her village. They weren't good enough for her. When I marry, Maria would say, I will marry the most handsome man in the world. And then one day in Maria's village rode a man who seemed to be just the one she said she had been looking about. He was a dashing young ranchero, the son of the wealthy rancher from the southern plains. He could ride a horse. He could ride like a Comanche. In fact, he owned a horse, and it grew tame. He would give it away and go rope a wild horse from the plains. He thought it wasn't manly to ride a horse if it wasn't half wild. He was handsome. He could play the guitar and sing beautifully. Maria grew up her mind that was the man for her. She knew just the tricks to win his attention. If the ranchero spoke when they met on the pathway, she would turn her head when he came to her house in the evening to play his guitar and serenade her. She wouldn't even come to the window. She refused all his costly gifts. The young man fell for her tricks. That haughty little girl, Maria. He said to himself, I know I can win her heart. I'll swear I'll marry that girl. And so everything turned out as Maria had planned. Before long, she and the ranchero became engaged, and soon they were married. At first things were fine. They had 2 children, and they seemed to be a happy family together. But after a few years, the ranchero went back to the wild life of the prairie. He would leave town and be gone for months at a time, and when he returned home, it was only to visit his children. He seemed to care nothing for his beautiful Maria. He talked of setting Maria aside and marrying a woman of his own wealthy class. As proud as Maria was, of course she became very angry with the ranchero. She also began to feel anger towards her children because he paid attention to them, but just ignored her. On one evening, as Maria was strolling with her 2 children on the shady pathway near the river, the ranchero came by in a carriage. An elegant lady sat on the seat beside him. Okay. He stopped and spoke to his children, but he didn't even look at Maria. He whipped the horse on up on the street. When she saw that a terrible rage filled Maria, and it all turned against her children. And although it is sad to tell, the story says that in her anger, Maria seized her 2 children and threw them into the river. But as they disappeared down the stream, she realized what she had done. She ran down the bank of the river, reaching out her arms to them, but they were long gone. The next morning, a traveler brought word to the villagers that a beautiful woman lay dead on the bank of the river. That is where they found Maria, and they laid her to rest where she had fallen. But the first night Maria was in the grave, the villagers heard the sound of crying down by the river. It was not the wind, it was Laliona crying, Where are my children? And they saw a woman walking up and down the bank of the river, dressed in a long white robe, the way they had dressed Maria for the burial. And on many a dark night, they saw her walk the riverbank and cry for her children, and so they no longer spoke of her as Maria. They called her La Leona, the weeping woman, and by that the name is known to this day. Children are warned not to go out in the dark, for La Leona might snatch them and never return them.